Hello, this is Tamara and welcome back to my kitchen. Today in my kitchen we're going to be making corn chowder. Sounds so delicious and creamy, but I'll be honest, I've never made it before. So let's do this together and see how it turns out. First we're going to start off with 4 slices of bacon. I'm just going to cut that into pieces and put it into a cold pan and fry that up to render out the fat to cook the rest of the ingredients in. We're just going to add the bacon to the pan. Going to break that up and stir it around until it is cooked crispy. And while that's getting started, we're going to go over and get the rest of the ingredients prepared and ready for the pot. I'm going to go ahead and start with 1 medium-sized onion. We're going to dice that. For now, I'm going to add it to this bowl over here and set it aside. Get all my ingredients chopped and ready. I have 1 medium carrot that I'm going to dice up. Depending on the size of your potatoes, I've got 6 pretty small potatoes here. You could do 3 large. I'm going to dice those up pretty uniform size so they cook evenly. So smell that bacon over there. It smells so good. Once that's done, we're going to remove it from the pan and leave the drippings. So I've just about got these potatoes diced. I'm going to go over and check the bacon. We want this good and crispy, so we're going to let it just continue to cook. So my bacon's done. I actually got it a little bit brown on the pan, but it's going to be okay. I'm going to add the onions to the hot pan and stir those around and let those soften. So I'm using my corn from the freezer that I put up this summer out of my garden. I've let it thaw just a little bit and I'm going to take it off the cob. And you want 3 cups of corn. Measure out to see if I have enough corn cut off. I may have to cut a few more ears. So that's about 2.5. I need a couple more ears. Three cloves of garlic, and I have not minced this. This is roasted garlic, so it's just going to melt away into the pan. Stirring that in, and when it starts to smell fragrant, we're going to add the carrots and the potatoes. We're going to stir that in and let that absorb some of the flavor from the onion and the bacon. And then I'm going to add the chicken stock. Adding 4 cups of chicken stock. So I'm going to add the corn. 2 teaspoons of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper. I'm going to stir that in, and 2 cups of milk. We're going to let this come to a simmer, and now basically just let the potatoes cook. At this point, I'm also going to add a couple of those corn cobs just for the flavor in those cobs and the extra corn meat that's still on them. So I'll add 3. I'm at a point where I'm going to go ahead and take these corn cobs out. And then we're going to finish letting the potatoes soften up. They're almost there. We're going to see if the potatoes are tender and that carrot is tender. So we're just about there. I'm going to give it a taste, see if it needs any more salt. The potatoes are nice and tender, and I'm going to go ahead and use my emulsion blender for about 5 seconds because I like my soup a little more thick and creamy. So I'm going to just give this a little pulse and then we'll be ready to serve. So that released the starch in the potatoes and in the corn, and it just gives it a little more silkiness, a little more thickness. So I'm going to toast some bread, and then we're going to be ready to have our soup, our corn chowder. Just before I serve, I'm going to just drizzle in just a little bit of cream, make it just a little bit more creamy. Garnish with just a little bit of parsley flakes, some of the bacon that we reserved from the pan, and a couple of slices of fresh sourdough bread on the side. Okay, in the beginning I told you I'd never made this before, so we're going to try this corn chowder together. It's really good. It has the sweetness from the corn, the savoriness of the bacon, and the salt and pepper. It's actually pretty good. It's really good for this cold, blustery day here in Tennessee. So if you give it a try, let me know.